Hey there, I'm Joe Carter. If you've ever popped the hood and thought, where do I even start? You're in good company. Around here, we take the mystery out of car repair, one fix at a time. Whether you're a beginner or just looking to sharpen your skills, there's something here for you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're into learning without the headaches. All right, that's enough from me. Let's get into it.
Two-stroke engine is characterized by simple construction, absence of a timing mechanism, small dimensions. Structurally, the scheme is a cylinder block, inside which the crankshaft is placed on bearings. On the neck of the shaft lies the head of the connecting rod with liners and is fixed with crown nuts. The upper head of the connecting rod is connected to the piston by means of a metal hollow sleeve pin. The piston with compression rings located on it prevents the penetration of burnt gases into the combustion chamber. The two-stroke engine is cooled through the outer fins of the block. Cooling also occurs due to the fuel, which contains a certain amount of oil. That is, lubrication of the joints piston cylinder and crankshaft. Connecting rod is carried out by a mixture which is diluted in advance with special oil. Burning with fuel should not leave exhaust deposits under the piston. Principle of operation: the process is based on the duty cycle that occurs per revolution of the crankshaft. The principle of operation of a two-stroke engine is that when moving upwards, the piston compresses the mixture under the piston, which got there through the inlet window. The spark from the spark plug seems to explode the fuel, dramatically increasing the temperature and pressure of the gases. As a result of this thermal pressure, the piston is forced downward. At the same time, the exhaust window and a little later the transition window open, injecting a fresh portion of fuel. By the way, the fuel in the two-stroke engine is necessarily supplemented with oil, making a mixture of gasoline and oil of a certain proportion. This is done to lubricate the piston, cylinder wall and crank unit. The fuel mixture enters the crankcase through the window, which opens due to the vacuum created by the movement of the piston from NMT to TDC. At the same time, the piston opens the opening, expelling the exhaust gases. At a certain period, the piston opens the purge window to fill the cylinder with a fresh portion of the fuel mixture. To increase the power of the engine, you need to increase the efficiency of the purge. This is necessary so that the fuel can be injected into the combustion chamber through the intake ports. Otherwise, fuel mixture will accumulate in the crankcase. To avoid this, it is recommended to increase the exhaust windows, which will lead to a qualitative filling of the cylinder. Use a Vortex 0 diffuser on the carburetor, which will supply more mixture in a shorter period of time. Install on the muffler the so-called resonator, corresponding to the RPM of the motor. This assembly contributes to the return of a fraction of the mixture back into the cylinder. Similar nuances occur when a two-stroke engine ejects part of the fuel from the chamber through the exhaust port window. For complete filling of the subpiston, volume should be viewed and the state of the inlet and exhaust channels for the reduction of all sorts of burrs, ricks, roughness. These casting imperfections contribute to the inhibition of the flow, reducing the filling of the chamber, reducing power. Effective increase in engine power is considered milling followed by fine grinding of the block head. The labor-intensive procedure is reduced to measuring the volume of the liter, selecting the octane number of fuel. For the sake of increasing the power of the motor, it would be possible to reduce the weight of rotating parts, for example, flywheel, crankshaft, by cutting off the counterweight elements. But bitter experience tells you not to take a chance, because amateurishness will lead to flywheel run out, its vibration, especially at low engine speeds. But if you really want to, you can remove thin chips with the subsequent mandatory balancing of the flywheel. As for the crankshaft, there is a risk of losing the center of gravity of the shaft with all the ensuing consequences. Traction capabilities: so, two-stroke engines and their traction capabilities correlate with the opening of the throttle flap. That is, with the acceleration of revolutions, its tractive capacity increases, which significantly affects acceleration. So, to increase acceleration you need to increase the cylinder displacement. Of course, traction can lead to top speed. Working at low speeds, Good traction provides injectivity, fast acceleration with easy overcoming of road obstacles, turns. All of this applies to increasing traction at low speeds. One of the prerequisites for increasing traction should be attributed to the installation of special valves and increasing the duration of their stay in the open state. Combustion chamber blow-by problem.